How's it going, everyone? Matt Fossa here again, and we are now taking a look at the specially released dev build of Starship Simulator. This was just released to the backers in a mass email. We were all given our codes, so this is the special account that Captain and above backers get to access. I'm looking to see if maybe it's not different from the previous build that I looked at. I'm looking here. It says training modules, like it saved my progress from the public demo that I then switched to beta mode. Well, we'll see. Now, Dan, the dev, he explained some interesting things about the interior layout of the Magellan class ship that he's been creating, and that, what he did was he has been spacing the decks out more than they originally were, which allows for the creation of crawl spaces and stuff like that for various conduits, and that's pretty cool. I wonder if we'll eventually be able to crawl around in them and have some like aliens style gameplay going on at some point. But anyway, I'm interested in checking this out and seeing what happens. I almost want to go and visit the bridge, but I also want to check out the engineering sequence again. And again, this mouse pointer is being a little wonky, but all right, here we go. Let's try the engineering sequence, and if things haven't changed, well, I'm just going to stop recording and wait for the next official dev build. But as far as I know, this should be a new dev build. So here we go. Loading Magellan class. And again, if that's the image of the ship, this Miranda-looking thing, the version that you get to see in an exterior view does not look like this. I'm hoping that maybe we'll get closer to what it is. Oh, look at this.
Welcome to the Magellan-class Cold Start training module. My name is Ava. I'm the UN Space Fleet's AI voice assistant.
All right.
In this module, we will review the correct procedure for starting up the ship's fusion reactor and then supplying power to the vessel.
Okay, it looks like we have an improvement.
The ship is currently in a cold and dark state, so for your safety, I have taken the liberty of turning on your torch for you.
That was jolly nice of her.
Follow the waypoints on your HUD to the lower floor of the reactor room.
Okay. Okay, this is different. This is different than what I had played last time, because I didn't materialize in what effectively was a crawl space. So this is good. Okay. Follow the waypoints. I really like these waypoints, and I like how there's an arrow telling us where to go. And there's stuff in there.
As you can see, the reactor is offline, and none of the ship's systems are powered.
Yes.
Our first task is to provide power to the engineering decks, so let's make our way to the start capacitor's room.
All right.
Follow the waypoints on your HUD to the startup distributor.
And there's a waypoint there, okay. Alrighty. Yeah, I like these waypoints that are pointing, where to go specifically. That's cool. All right, do it.
As its name suggests, the startup distributor routes energy from the start capacitors to the engineering decks.
Okay.
And also provides the reactor with the power it needs to create the initial fusion reaction. You'll notice the device is already powered because the start capacitors are fully charged.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and get some lights on by connecting all of the breakers. Start with the G-deck breakers, as indicated.
I see, okay. There we go, okay.
And now the F-deck breakers.
Gotcha. So yeah, this engineering section encompasses 2 full
and
decks.
Finally, the reactor supply itself.
Okay.
Excellent. Now we can see what we're doing.
Good.
You can go ahead and turn off your torch by pressing T.
Okay.
The reactor controls should now be online, so let's walk back to the reactor room and take a look.
All right. Okay, so back this. Okay. There we go. There we are.
This console displays the reactor's vital information
Okay.
and provides you with full control over the reactor and its subsystems. On the left-hand side, we have the coolant section,
Very nice.
which shows the liquid helium coolant flow and the condition of the magnetic field coils. On the right-hand side, we have the
293
electrical
Kelvin.
section,
That's like room
which shows
temperature.
the reactor's main electrical bus, along with its input and output feeds.
Okay.
In the center, we have the reactor's main display, where we can control the fusion reaction itself. As you can see from all of these alarms, it would be impossible to initiate a stable fusion reaction under the current conditions,
Well,
so
yeah.
let's fix that. The first thing we need to do is supply power to the reactor's internal bus.
Okay.
So go ahead and switch the reactor to startup mode. Great. Now that the reactor has power, we can activate the vacuum pump to start purging. The chamber pressure should now be dropping. To sustain a fusion reaction, we need an internal pressure of less than 10 nanopascals. While we wait for the confinement chamber to reach its target pressure, let's take care of the reactor's fuel and coolant supplies.
All right.
Exit the reactor room via the door behind you, and follow the waypoints on your HUD to the cryogenic storage.
Okay. This way. I'm going to try to move through this quickly. The last time I saw this, it took
These
over an
storage
hour.
tanks hold all of the
I
cryogenic
prefer not
fluids
to take
being
an
used
hour.
to both fuel and cool the reactor. All 4 tanks are currently empty, so our first task is to begin the filling process. Let's start with the helium coolant. Head behind the storage tanks to access the helium cryo cooler.
Okay. There we go.
The cryo coolers use a process called magnetic refrigeration to convert gas into a cryogenic fluid, before pumping it into the connected storage tank. Start up the helium cryo cooler now by using the indicated control on its user interface.
Okay. The helium cryo cooler. Oh, there we go. Whoa. Come on, help me out here. There we go.
Excellent. Now if you turn around, you'll find the helium refill valve located on the back wall. These valves control the flow of gases harvested by the ship's gas collection hardware, which is located on the underside of the forward hull. Go ahead and open the helium
really
supply
interesting.
valve now
Like,
to begin
there's
supplying the cryo cooler with helium gas.
There's Star Trek and Space Cruiser Yamato had a baby vibes here.
If you turn
I
around
really
again
like
and inspect
this.
the display screen connected to the helium tank, you should be able to confirm that the tank is now filling with fluid. We now need to perform the same sequence of events for the other 3 tanks.
Okay.
Helium-3 is the first of 2 fuels used in the fusion reaction. As before, power up the device using its user interface.
Okay, where am I going? Okay, there we are.
And now open the Helium-3 refill valve behind you to start filling its associated tank.
Boom.
Next,
Yeah,
we need to
all I'm
start
thinking,
filling the 2
switchy!
deuterium tanks. So let's head over to the other side of the room.
All right, other side of the room. All right, here we go.
Deuterium, also known as heavy hydrogen, is the second of the 2 fusion fuels. We store double the amount of deuterium compared to helium-3 because deuterium also fuels the reactor's neutral beam injectors. As before, turn on the first deuterium cryocooler.
All right.
And now the first deuterium refill valve behind you.
Yeah, all I'm thinking here.
Next, turn on the second deuterium cryocooler.
Hello, engine,
And now the second deuterium refill valve. Okay, perfect. All 4 storage tanks should now be filling with cryogenic fluids. For our next task,
Apologies to
we now
any
need to
Japanese-speaking
engage the
people if
cryopumps
I'm
in order
totally
to start
ruining
supplying the
the
reactor with everything it
pronunciations.
needs.
I just remember
Make your way around to the other side of the
watching.
tanks and locate the deuterium tank outflow valve.
You know, I actually watched several Space Cruiser Yamato without even subtitles, so it was like watching an opera. Like, you got the idea and you would just pick up words.
Open the deuterium outflow valve to begin
That was
supplying
a long
fluid to
time
its
ago
connected cryopump.
when they were doing like bootleg VHSs and stuff.
Next, power on the pump itself using the button indicated
years
on its
ago.
user interface.
But
Excellent.
anyway.
That's half of the fuel mix taken care of.
Now I've got the complete
Now head over to
set
the
of
helium-3 tank
SCY
outflow valve
from the
so we can
70s and
complete the
80s
fuel
with
supply.
subtitles. Okay, I know. I should be shutting up and letting Ava talk, but anyway. Where are we going here? All right, back to the helium-3 outflow valve.
As before,
There we
begin by
go.
opening the helium-3 outflow valve.
Do it. Switch you
And now
on.
engage the helium-3. Perfect.
There we go.
All we have to do now is take care of the coolant flow. Head over to the helium tank outflow valve.
All right.
Now open the helium outflow
Wait,
valve.
did I? Oh, sorry.
And finally,
Getting too
power on the
excited.
helium cryopump.
All right.
There we go. The reactor is now being supplied with all the fuel and coolant it needs. Follow
Now I
the
understand,
waypoints
like,
back to
if
the
you
reactor
play
room,
with the regular game from
where
a
we have
cold
just a
start,
few more valves
you have to
to
just know how to do this. I, I really do admire the engineering behind all this. It really is impressive. Y'all have done a great job on this. I am genuinely impressed. Okay, where am I going here? Did I? Okay, I messed up. Sorry. Sorry. As they say here in the South, I'm jawing away. Okay, where am I going? Okay. Okay, I'm trying to go. Okay, this is where I'm going, is it? I see, okay.
To complete the coolant loop, open the helium inflow valve to start flowing coolant through the magnetic field coils.
Okay, note to the creators, if the presence of the lights is supposed to make it so that we know where we're going, like, maybe fix that. Maybe some emergency lights on the guardrails and stuff. Just
now
a
make your
thought.
way around to the opposite side of the reactor to complete the fuel supply process.
Okay.
First, open the deuterium inflow valve. And now open the helium-3 inflow valve.
Okay.
Okay, great. Let's head over to the reactor controls and take a look at the coolant display.
Again, it's like, yeah.
As you can see, we now have coolant flowing into the reactor.
Other safety lights
This has begun
would
the
be
process
useful.
of cooling down the magnetic field coils, which must reach temperatures below 20 Kelvin in order to become superconductive.
And super cooled, yeah.
Okay, the temperatures look good.
We're almost
We
at
can now power up
absolute
the
zero.
field coils. With a solid vacuum established, the field coils powered up, and fuel flowing into the reactor, you are now free to initiate the fusion reaction.
Do it.
Congratulations! You have now successfully started the fusion reactor. For safety, the reactor automatically starts up at only 10% of its rated power.
Okay.
This means high voltage systems, such as the FTL drive, will be underpowered until you increase the reactor output.
That makes sense.
Let's resolve that now. Increase the power level to 100% using the indicated controls.
But Captain, the ship might not be able to take it. Or if this was Yamato, Baka, come out! Sorry.
You'll notice that you can increase the power beyond 100%, but doing so for an extended period will overheat the reactor, causing damage and forcing an uncontrolled shutdown. Okay.
Malikan, give me 115%.
With the reactor now powering itself, you can go ahead and switch the internal bus mode from startup to supply.
Ah, there we go, okay. Boom.
Perfect. If we now head around to the opposite side of the reactor output distributor should now be powered up.
Okay.
This device distributes the reactor's output to the ship's high voltage systems, which are in fact the only systems powered directly by the reactor.
Okay.
The rest of the ship is powered by 48 individual battery arrays, which we now need to begin charging using the reactor's output.
That's right. There's this whole other battery system.
Go ahead and connect all 5 of the output breakers here.
All right, do it. Bing, 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 bing. Come on. And bing.
Excellent.
There we go.
If you turn to your left, you'll see the 5 high voltage distributors are now coming online.
Yes.
Head over to the main battery distributor.
Okay.
This device takes the high voltage reactor feed and distributes it to each of the 8 battery rooms on F deck.
Yep.
Go ahead and connect all 8 output breakers.
Yep. Bingo, bingo, bingo. B-I-N-G-O. And whatever.
Perfect. The battery arrays should now be charging,
Good.
but we should perform a visual inspection to make sure. Follow the waypoints on your HUD to port battery room 1.
Okay, yeah, we're pre-flighting a spaceship. Oh, come on now. Okay, gotta fix that. Okay. I do like these waypoints. My humble suggestion would be more waypoints. More waypoints would be better, I think.
The electrical supply on Magellan-class starships is divided into 4 isolated quadrants: forward, aft, port, and starboard.
Yeah.
For increased redundancy, each quadrant is powered by 2 physically isolated battery rooms just like this one.
Right.
Should the battery arrays in one room cease to function for any reason, the arrays in the second room will continue providing power to that particular quadrant.
Mm-hmm.
Similarly, power to one quadrant can be lost entirely, without impacting the supply to the remaining 3 quadrants. Okay, Let's take a look at one of the individual battery arrays.
Okay, this one right here. Nice and convenient.
On the left-hand side of the user interface, you have controls for managing the input and output breakers. And in the center, you have controls and information relating to this array's 10 solid-state battery cells. If we did everything correctly, all of the cells should now be slowly charging up. For the next step, we now need to connect each of the 8 battery rooms to the ship's electrical grid.
Okay.
This task will take us into the ship's labyrinth of maintenance tunnels, so be sure to watch your head. Follow the waypoints on your HUD to port battery aggregator 1.
Okay, there's the waypoint. Okay. Okay, come on. So be sure to watch your head. Do we have to crouch? Okay.
Each battery room has a corresponding battery aggregator, just like this one. These devices perform load balancing and also combine each room's 6 individual battery arrays into a single high-voltage feed. Go ahead and connect the output breaker now, which will connect this set of battery arrays to the...
Done.
Okay, 1 down and 7 more to go.
7 more.
Next, head over to port battery aggregator 2.
All right.
As before,
okay,
connect
yeah.
this aggregator's output breaker. That takes care of the port battery rooms. Let's make our way to the forward quadrant next.
Okay, yeah. Designer Dan, yeah, I think it's Dan. Yeah. We need floor lights. These ceiling lights are attractive, but they are not utilitarian. You know, think of the emergency lights on modern, 21st century aircraft. They're on the floor, and they lead us to where to go. And also that makes it possible for us to look out for obstacles and stuff. Just think about that. Add some little dots on the floor or something. There we are.
Go ahead and connect the output breaker.
Done.
And the same again on forward battery aggregator 2.
Okay.
Okay, onwards to the starboard quadrant.
This is a big ship. That's the thing. I really appreciate this. And like I said in a previous video, this is the bigger ship. This is the biggest ship in the game, the Magellan class. So once you can master this, then
Same again.
handling
Connect the output breaker.
handling the smaller
and the second
ships
starboard aggregator.
will be a piece of cake, I think.
Almost done. Just the aft quadrant to go.
Yep. Because like Federation starships and Star Trek, this has a saucer section, at least allegedly, and I don't think there's a problem with that. Sorry, Paramount does not own the rights to having a spaceship that
Connect
has
up
a
the
saucer
first aft
section.
aggregator. And finally, the second aft aggregator.
And if they try that, they can KMA. So, anyway.
Okay, perfect. All 48 of the ship's battery arrays are now connected to the electrical grid. All we have to do now is supply power to the ship's remaining decks, and then perform a few cleanup tasks.
Okay.
We can do most of that from the reactor room, so let's head there now. Follow the waypoints on your HUD to the forward deck distributor.
Again, those waypoints. Yeah, I'm going to reiterate. We need some dots on the floor. The reflection of the overhead lights on these railings, that ain't enough. And, I don't work for OSHA, but I kind of feel like I'm starting to. So, yeah, seriously, from a technical standpoint and from a realism standpoint, I definitely think deck lighting. Please, for the next dev build, let's get some deck lighting in here. Little dots. Or just, if this is here, is there a curve in the floor? Like, light that up. I think that'll be very useful. Oh, man. Yeah. And, okay, stairs with no lights. I'm a professional symphony musician, and I had a real-life bad experience resulting in me being 1% disabled officially by the government because there was not sufficient lighting on steps backstage, and so when everything went black, there was no lighting to tell me that there were steps down. I fell, I twisted my ankle, screamed, and the entire stage crew was there in a flash, and I had to leave in a wheelchair. So, yeah, I think in the 23rd or whatever century this is, they would not make a mistake as amateur and newbie as that. No offense intended. I'm just saying, lights on the stairs, absolutely. All right. Yeah, I was playing the Nutcracker with the Northwest Florida Ballet, and all of a sudden I stepped off into an abyss and hit hard, rolled my ankle, and the pain, like, I had to like make up a crazy animal noise because I didn't even know how to signal my distress, and I remember going, ah! And people heard me, and like I said, the chief stagehand was there in a flash, and three other people from the stage crew, and they pulled off my sock, and I remember the stage crew head goes, "Ooh, that's a good one right there." My ankle had swelled to like the size of a softball. So, not making this up. All right, back to the game.
Each
Deck
deck in a
lighting.
given quadrant is fed by a deck distributor, which takes the total electrical load of that quadrant, and then load balances it between the two connected battery aggregators. Go ahead and connect the output breakers for all 7 decks in this quadrant.
I do like the detail that you're going for here. I get what you're doing.
Now head over to the starboard deck distributor and do the same.
I do hope that, some real multi-crew action gets to happen here.
And now the aft deck distributor. And finally, the port deck distributor.
And finally, the port deck distributor. Emphasis on the word port. Anyway.
Perfect. All quadrants on every deck now have power available from the ship's main battery arrays.
Good.
You'll notice, however, that the ship is still under emergency lighting conditions, because F and G decks are still using the start capacitor's supply. To resolve this, we simply have to switch the 4 quadrant distributors on F and G decks over to the main battery feed.
Okay.
Head over to the G deck forward quadrant distributor.
Alrighty.
Each deck has 4 of these devices, 1 for each quadrant. They are fed by the corresponding deck distributor.
Okay.
Go ahead
so
and switch
obviously,
this.
yeah. Okay.
That's better. Now we can really see what we're doing.
Yeah.
Now head over to the starboard quadrant distributor and do the same.
I don't know if you can change the emphasis.
And now the aft quadrant distributor.
The word emphasis that the voice is giving us. It just kind of feels like it's the ship's computer talking,
and finally,
I guess.
The port quadrant
It's
distributor.
Ava. I just kind of feel like certain words should have greater emphasis.
That's G deck taken care of. Let's do the same for F deck.
Okay.
Head upstairs to the F deck forward quadrant distributor.
I like the stereo effect of the sounds in the room. Come on. That's why I have to jump over it. Okay.
As before, switch this device.
Yeah.
And now the same on the starboard quadrant distributor.
I love the fact that when I'm facing a certain way, like,
and again on the aft quadrant
hear
distributor.
the reactor noises out of the appropriate headphone.
And finally, the port quadrant distributor.
Nice job on the stereo work. So anyway.
Well done. That's the main objectives of the cold start procedure complete. But we have one final bonus task to perform.
I think we have to go to the bridge, don't we?
Follow the waypoints on your HUD up to the bridge.
Yep.
And we'll make the ship flight ready.
Cool. Do it. We have to go up the stairs. All right. Why is that? Okay, is there something in the way there, or is like that? You better watch out. That first step is a Lulu. Anyway. Yeah, it is. Okay, so there's some collision issues and some stair issues still to deal with. But I'm glad that this tutorial is working better. This is good. Well done, team. All right. Okay. Very interesting design, like walking up to the bridge. I mean, you'd think this was almost a cruise ship in some ways, but you know, I mean, it's comfortable, and I get what you're doing there.
The lights and bridge systems are still turned off.
Yep.
So let's bring everything online.
Okay.
Head over to the ADEC distributor in the engineering alcove.
Yeah. Okay. I don't mean to sound like a broken record, but floor lights. Floor lights. I shouldn't have to turn on my flashlight to do this.
Now go ahead and turn on the bridge lighting. And now power up the bridge system. Okay, there we go. You have successfully started the fusion reactor, routed power to all of the ship's decks, and brought the bridge online into a flight-ready state. This concludes the Magellan-class Cold Start training module. Good luck, and I hope you'll join me again in future training modules.
Okay, well, this is good. I like this. Now I think I actually want to go back and try the other tutorial and see if the bridge consoles are kind of fixed. Yeah. Ooh, can we do the shoot, what is the key for the different views? Is it C? C. Okay, hang on a sec. I'm gonna go to the helm and see if I can see the exterior of the ship and see if it's changed at all. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so, well, not exactly, but it is this. They're doing the Alcubierre drive thing, and that's supposed to be the hangar deck. Okay, okay. Well, cool. Cool. All right, well, I'm going to exit out of this. I completed this tutorial. Yay. Quit to main menu. There we go. Cool. Okay. Yeah, that was fun. That was fun. And like I said, I've seen this tutorial before, and it's, you know, I don't know if it's changed per se. It's maybe, I don't know if it's changed, but I'm glad I walked through it. But yes, floor lights. I cannot stress that enough. That's, in my humble opinion, I think that's common sense Starship stuff. The lights overhead are great, but there definitely needs to be some track lighting in the floors, even little dots spaced out like every half a meter or so, with kind of like on airplanes, you know, like you have white dots and then you find a red dot that indicates either a vital system that you need to use to start the ship up is here, or that there's a door, and absolutely lights at the edge of every step. I know it's just a game, but if we're simulating this to make it seem realistic, like I seriously, like when I saw that my waypoint was one deck below where I was and I was at the top of the stairs, I'm not making this up. I actually had a slight flashback to that day backstage at the Nutcracker. Like, oh my God, I need a light. Yeah. You can imagine after enduring that and the pain, you know, I'd like to think I'm not a wimp or a hypochondriac. That freaking hurt twisting my ankle. And so whenever I'm in doubt that there could be an obstacle, I'm whipping out the phone and turning on the light. But again, this is a modern 23rd, 24th century Starship. Is that really necessary, carrying around a flashlight? This isn't a ship in mothballs or something. It's an active duty vessel that needs to be powered up. Just saying. All right. I will cease with the criticism about that. All right. So I want to see this tutorial because I want to see if the the pointers and indicators are now conforming with the new console layouts, because the tutorial that I tried was it was obviously based on an old setup.
Welcome to the Magellan-class scanning and navigation training module. My name is Ava.
Yes,
I'm
yes,
the
yes.
UN Space Fleet's AI voice assistant.
Can I just skip ahead
In this
here?
module, we will review the correct procedure for identifying targets of interest, and then navigating the ship to the desired location.
Okay,
To begin, proceed to the ship's bridge.
which I did.
I have placed some waypoints on your HUD to help you find your way.
Uh-oh, okay. Okay, that's another thing. You know, if we've already done this, there should be some sort of, you know...
Welcome to the bridge. This is the ship's nerve
You know what I
center, where you have command and control over any ship system. Right now, we're interested in the sensors, so make your way over to that console and take a seat.
Which is over here. Okay.
This station is responsible for scanning space around the ship and highlighting any targets of interest for the command staff.
That's really cool.
Before we perform any scans, however, let's take a look at the different sensor modes available to us.
Okay.
The galactic position
Uh-oh.
mode makes use of the standard UN
No,
galactic
no,
positioning
no.
system,
That's
and
not
simply
right.
shows us our location relative to the Milky Way galaxy.
Galactic position should be
The
there.
stellar region mode employs the long-range sensors to detect
Long
information
range.
about star systems within a 50 light-year radius of the ship. The star system mode uses the short-range sensors
Short range.
to provide a more
right there.
detailed overview of the
Okay.
star system we
What
are
about
currently
medium
in,
range?
with a maximum range of about 1 light-year.
So you
Go
added
ahead
an
and press
extra
that
button.
now.
Okay. No. Okay. So this has not been updated yet, is what I'm saying. All right. I guess I could be not a spoil sport and okay.
The range controls allow you to fine-tune the display range of the sensors,
Yeah, okay.
which makes it easier to focus on particular objects of interest, or to gain a high-level overview of the current star system. The central panel lists all of the valid objects in range, which you can click on to select as a target. Go ahead and click a few different targets now.
I can't.
You'll notice that the target information panel displays more detailed information about your selected
so
target.
this needs to be fixed.
Once
there
you are
we go.
happy with your selection,
Okay.
press the Send to Helm button to make the target coordinates available to the Helm console for navigation.
Yeah, I want to go to Saturn. Okay. Scan target. All right. Saturn, send to helm. See, it wants me to click here, but
Now head over to the Helm console.
I
and
have
take
to
a
click
seat.
here too.
From here, we will navigate the ship to your chosen target.
Yep, cool. Yep, look at that. And there is our ship. And where is Saturn? Sure, it's somewhere in there. All right. So we sit at the
Let's
helm.
begin by taking a quick look at the various screens available to the helm.
Yep.
The left-hand display is dedicated to navigation and shows both the ship's current galactic
Use sensor
position
target.
along with its target destination coordinates.
That's Saturn right there.
The central display
Antenna
deals with the
user
flight
way.
controls themselves, including the FTL system, sublight engines, and reaction control thrusters.
And the autopilot.
The right-hand screen features the autopilot controls, toggles for the 3D target indicators, and the ship's navigation lights. Okay, let's retrieve the target information from the sensors
Which
by
I
pressing
did.
Your target coordinates
Yep,
should
there
now be
it is.
displayed in this box, which represents your current nav target.
Yes.
The galactic coordinates represent the target's position in the galaxy to the nearest whole light year.
Yep.
The coordinates are relative to the center of our galaxy,
It's very
the
clear that
supermassive black hole known as Sagittarius A star. The local coordinates represent the target's position within a star system. The coordinates are relative to the system's center of gravity, which is usually a star, or the barycenter in multi-star systems. While it is possible to fly the ship manually to any location in the galaxy, let's engage the autopilot for now, so that I can take care of that for you. Go ahead and press the highlighted button on the right-hand screen.
Engage.
The ship will now automatically turn to face the current nav target, but you will need to manually engage the FTL system in order for us to get underway. You can now engage the FTL system when you are ready.
And again, they're going
While
to
the
make us
autopilot is
go
engaged,
through the planet.
I will manage the ship's speed and final approach to the target coordinates.
Okay, gotta fix that.
So just sit back and enjoy the ride.
That's unnerving
The FTL
too.
system works by compressing space ahead of the ship and then expanding it behind, creating a bubble of warped space with the ship at its center.
That is unnerving
The compressed
for so many
space
reasons.
amplifies the ship's current velocity by a factor of the FTL field strength, so the ship's sublight engines are still used to provide the required thrust. The maximum speed of the ship is therefore a combination of the FTL field strength and the thrust output of the sublight engines.
There's Saturn.
For the Magellan class, this is approximately 300 light years per hour.
300 light years per hour. Pretty cool. Okay, we're here.
Okay, it looks like we have arrived at the target coordinates. Now that we've seen what the ship can do over a relatively short distance, let's pick a target that's much further away. Head on over to the sensors console again and take a seat.
Yep. And then
This time we're going to use the long-range sensors. Go
I
ahead
didn't
and
do
press
this
the
right
stellar
last
region
time.
button to view our local stellar neighborhood.
Yeah, okay, so long range, there we go. All right. And then I have to click this just to
As before,
appease.
you can use the display range buttons to increase or reduce the number of displayed objects, depending on your needs. If you click between a few of the objects in range, you'll notice that none of them have any detailed information yet. This is because a sensor scan is required. Let's take a closer look at our nearest neighbor. Click on Alpha Centauri and then click the Scan Target button.
Which
You'll
I
notice
did.
that the Target Information panel
You gotta
now
fix
gives us
this.
a high-level overview of the targeted system,
Yep.
including important data points,
We need this,
such as the
and
extent
we
of
need
the
it in
habitable
the
zone.
microgramma.
This information can be used to
Which is what
determine
the
if the
Starship
star
font is
system is
called.
worth closer inspection. For example,
what the
if a planet exists
Monster
in the
Maroon
habitable
Star Trek
zone,
font
you'll
on the
need to
ships is
use the
called.
short-range sensors from within the system itself to determine if that planet can truly support life. Select one of the planets in the system that you'd like to take a closer look at, and then press center helm as we did before.
Let's go visit the gas dwarf. Is it red? Anyway.
Now return to the helm console and take a
Send
seat
to
once
helm.
again.
Yeah, the buttons work properly. It's like, so the tutorial needs to match the current setup of
Press
the
the
console.
Use Sensor Target button again on the navigation panel to set our new nav target.
Yep, use sensor target.
Now engage the autopilot again to orient the ship to the new target coordinate.
Boom.
And now,
And then
engage
the FTL
Our
drive.
previous journey was merely interplanetary, but we're now leaving the Sol system behind and entering interstellar space.
And here we go.
The Milky Way galaxy is a vast and mysterious place, where even light takes over 4 years to reach our nearest stellar neighbor. Thanks to recent breakthroughs in FTL technology, however, we can now make that same journey in around 1 minute. Even so, at our maximum speed of 300 light years per hour, it will still take over 2 full weeks to fly from one side of the galaxy to the other. That's a distance in excess of 100,000 light years.
Which is interesting, so
Our
I
galaxy
wonder if
contains
anyone's going to
hundreds
try
of
doing
billions of
that.
star systems that are waiting to be explored, in addition to countless other stellar phenomena that we don't even have names for yet. This ship and her crew are tasked with exploring distant new worlds, seeking out new life in all of its diversity, and making peaceful first contact with any intelligent species that are encountered along the way.
And boldly
The galaxy
going
can
where
also be
no...
a dangerous and unforgiving place. So as we tread cautiously into the unknown, we should remain mindful of any potential dangers lurking in the dark. We're not far from our destination now, so sit back and enjoy the view while I handle the final approach.
I prefer to hand fly, but, well, just my plane. Actually, I would like to get an autopilot for Lady Blue, but they're expensive. I'm not made of money. Cool. So what does this look like? Gas dwarf. It's a gaseous planet. Cool. And there we are.
Okay, here we are. You are now looking at an entirely new world, bathed in the light of another star. At this distance, our home is now just another point of light in the darkness of space. Does life exist here? What new things can we discover on this world?
It's gassy.
These are the questions that this ship was designed to answer. This concludes the scanning and navigation training module. You are free to continue exploring if you wish, but please be aware that your progress will not be saved. Thank you, and goodbye.
No, that was pretty cool. It was good going through the tutorial again, and I enjoyed getting my first impressions of the Reactor Cold Start tutorial. And again, I blew through it because I've already seen a good bit of it. I know what to do, and I understand the waypoint system. I'm sorry if that seemed like I was being a little impatient, but I think that kind of playtesting these tutorials is useful, and I also think that it would be good for the tutorial to be set up in such a way that if a player already knows what they're doing and sort of skips ahead, that the tutorial will follow them skipping ahead, that kind of a thing. And once again, floor lighting, floor emergency lighting. Alrighty. So that's pretty much it. Hope you guys enjoyed me going through this, and I'll see you for the next one. Cheers, everyone.